In summer 2017, I worked on 2 live projects which accumulated to over 60 hours of my compulsory summer placement. The first was coverage of an annual show by a Downton-based acting school. It was dedicated to the ex-mayor. Myself and a handful of other students filmed it with 3 Sony EX3s, and the second is the one I'll be talking to you about today. I was working with the Firthmoor and District Community Association in Darlington. They run the Firthmoor Community Centre on the council estate where I grew up. The organisation is a charity. And they receive funding for all of their services and events. They do a lot of normal community centre things, but they also have a dentist and a nursery. Last year they held an event for the Queen's 90th birthday. They had live music and even streamed an England match live on the big screen. This year I got involved in the preparation stages of the event, and even found the organisers some solo singers who ended up getting the prime slots. I helped promote the event on social media and assisted in creating schedules for the day and lineups for the acts. Myself, Robin Baker and Jordan Dent helped set up the event the day before, including things like building benches, putting up fences, gazebos and flags. On the day we filmed coverage of the event with 3 Canon C100s from Aurora House. We had a shoulder rig, a HD monitor, and one camera was always hooked up to the sound mixer when we were filming the acts. The footage was used to promote the acts and the community centre on social media. The main goal is to create a promotional video for next year's event, which I think I'll be heavily involved in. The community centre itself is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a little community. It's not a business. They have rooms and halls that they hire out. They put on fairs and host people's parties, etc. They're linked with the 6 primary schools in the district and do a lot for youngsters in the area. The centre is run by volunteers. The integration of the nursery and dentist has resulted in a heavier footfall at the centre, meaning the facilities are getting used. For example, the cafe and the classes. The youth of the estate are encouraged to use the mugger, with cheap access and long hours. They run a lot of family-based activities, including coach trips to local amusement parks. Leisure centres and other excursions. This family-positive attitude is reflected in the staff, with various members being related, or at least friends from the estate. The centre is run by Glenys Harrison, the lady on the right. The centre is run by Glenys Harrison, the chief officer of the association. She works every weekday at the centre and is the only member of staff with her own office. Then there are the rest of the leadership team. A wall shares space behind the reception. As you can see, there are only 5 members of the leadership team, all led by Stephen Tate, the chairman. Glenys Harrison works directly below him, but she spends most of her time at the centre. As you can see, the rest of the staff are in more of a circular formation, meaning that roles are shared equally across people. But one of the main people is Kevin Nicholson, the guy on the left. He's a politician and a councillor for Darlington Borough Council. He has made significant changes to the centre and helped commission local artwork and led community projects. He spends a few days a week at the centre, but has council duties, obviously. There are other admin staff and a receptionist, but it's the type of place where the cleaner gets involved behind the counter. The dentist surgery is self-contained in one corner of the building. However, the nursery is led by the centre. It's funded by Start and National Lottery. Here you can see that I've analysed the strengths, weaknesses and opportunities and threats facing the company and their services. Of course, the association is a charity funded by the National Lottery and government funds. This opens windows for funding opportunities and is already a solid strength. They have resources readily available for use by the public and other organisations, which means there are many ways the centre could reach out further than the district. The centre could suffer if funding routes become less available. They haven't got real presence online, which is jeopardising their chances of filling spaces and valuable slots. The people running the centre are volunteers, which means resources are stretched, and it's hard for members to become passionate about social media and advertising methods. There is very little training available in the centre for the staff to excel at giving the place a strong online presence. Their roles are already demanding and their skill sets lie in other departments. There are a set number of volunteers, leadership team, cleaning team and events team etc. who do admin-based work throughout the week, however have more responsibilities when the events are coming up. Glennis and the team hire visual and IT services when necessary. For example, at Firth Moor Live, they hired a stage and audio company and our video skills. They seem to have their own select handful of contacts at their events, such as mobile DJs for regular small events, and large stage and audio crew for events such like this. Even things like stalls, hay bales, ice cream vans etc. at their events were all provided by local people from the estate and district. They had never had a media team attend an event, and my contribution was the first. They are always grateful and express this every time we speak. I would love to work for the centre again. For example, I will be working with them next summer to run a filmmaking club for primary school children. Like I said, it's a community centre run by a community. Everyone works together when they need to. In my SWOT analysis, I ran out of bad things to say about the place. They do have weaknesses, and of course they face some threats, but nothing too scary. I believe I could improve the centre in many ways. They showed me For example, they showed me their IT suite. It has a round table and no computers whatsoever. I've discussed pledging for some funding for the IT suite and other rooms to encourage more groups. For example, computer classes for pensioners, IT clubs for children, and most importantly, the film club or school that I've suggested. I believe that they should synergise with local companies and make them... I believe that they should synergise with other local companies and make the centre more of a business hub. I understand that their values and mission statement reflect... Fuck off! I believe they should synergise with other local companies and make the centre more of a business hub. I understand that their values and mission statement reflect an attitude which is for the community and less about profit, but I think if they focus a little more on gaining money, they could put more back into events, services and excursions at the centre. Overall, they're doing pretty well. The nursery is funded well and well managed, the dentist is paying rent and generating footfall, and the sports facilities are being regularly used. In terms of financial stability, I've observed that they do not struggle. They're doing much better than some community associations, but there's definitely room for improvement in terms of services and events, which could all be paid for with funding from bigger and better sources. I look forward to working with the centre again, and I think I'll make some of the improvements that I've brought up today. The centre have proved that they can pull off larger events, and I'm hoping to join them on their journey in the future. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe.